Newcastle threw away 1 goal lead to lose 2-1 at Marseille. Juventus also edged a 5-goal thriller against Bodo Glimt, winning 3-2 in Norway, and Borussia Dortmund Borussia Dortmund thrashed Villarreal to a win of 4-0. Moving on, where I've got this coming from Real Madrid. Talking Osimhen. Real Madrid are reportedly preparing to deal with in excess of 100 million euros to sign Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray in a move designed to reinforce the attack and allow Kylian Mbappe to return to his natural position on the left wing. The Spanish club believes the time is right to add the proven goal scorer capable of providing immediate finish quality and strong physical presence in the penalty area, with Osimhen emerging as the strategic target for the next season, according to reports that Real Madrid see the need for a pure striker who can contribute finishing, pace and consistency, adding that Osimhen fits this profile perfectly: powerful, aggressive on every run, and possessing the natural scoring instinct aligned with Real Madrid's attacking philosophy. His contractual situation and attention he has generated as Galatasaray have intensified Madrid's interest, with the club now reportedly evaluating his signing as a priority. According to report, the arrival of Osimhen would allow Mbappe to reclaim the freedom on the left that made him decisive in best years, while the team gains clear focal point in the opposition box. Negotiations are expected to be complex, with Galatasaray, who paid 75 million euros to acquire Osimhen from Napoli, unlikely to allow his departure without financial return matching his sporting impact. Moving on, where I've got this coming from Cristiano Ronaldo, and talking FIFA. Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo has escaped a FIFA ban ahead of the 2026 World Cup. The 40-year-old will be available to play in the opening games at the next year's tournament. Ronaldo was left fearing a suspension following his red card in qualifying fixtures against the Republic of Ireland. The Arsenal forward was sent off for elbowing Dara O'Shea, and usually violent conduct is punished with a 3-match ban, but Ronaldo has had the second and third matches suspended for a year. The reports say that the fact that it was the first red card in 226 international appearances was taken into account. Ronaldo missed the game against Armenia on November 16 and will now not miss any games in the United States next summer. A FIFA statement said, and I quote, "If Cristiano Ronaldo commits another infringement of similar nature, the gravity during the probationary period, the suspension set out in the disciplinary decision shall be deemed automatically revoked, and the remaining 2 matches must be served immediately." And that was coming from FIFA. Moving on to the MPFL, where I've got this about Enyimba and the defeat to Katsina United. Enyimba interim head coach Lawrence Okeago insists the Yaba Giants will recover from the recent slumping form. The 9-time Nigerian Premier Football League MPFL champions suffered a 3-2 defeat to Katsina United in Ilorin on Monday. Okeago expressed his dissatisfaction with the result. Enyimba are without a win in their last 3 league matches. He said, and I quote, "This is a painful one. I expected us to win because it was a neutral ground. We did enough to get something from this match, but the lost time that wasn't recovered cost us. Still, we will work harder and bounce back." Enyimba will face Rangers this weekend. Yes, moving on, still talking sport and still talking football. We have got this coming from CAF. They have increased the AFCON squad ahead of Eagles preliminary list. The CAF Federation of African Football has approved a revised squad regulation that will shape our national teams, including Nigeria, approach to 2025 African Cup of Nations. Under the new rule, teams may now register up to 27 players for major tournaments. However, CAF will only take responsibility for expenses of 23 players, covering travel, accommodation, competition logistics, while the additional 4 players will be funded by their respective federation. CAF says the adjustment will enable coaches to better deal with injuries, suspension, and tactical demands in what is expected to be congested tournament calendar ahead of the 2025 AFCON, scheduled for December 21st, 2025 to January 18, 2026 in Morocco. The Nigerian Football Federation is expected to release a provisional squad in the coming days. The Super Eagles official Exando also teased the announcement recently, posting an article, Super Eagles African Cup of Nations preliminary squad announcement coming up. According to recent reports, head coach Eric Scheller has already submitted a 55-man preliminary squad to the NFF. The list will eventually be trimmed, with several new faces expected to an invitation to the team pre-AFCON training camp. Yes, moving on, we have got this, still talking AFCON 2025, of course, and talking Frederick. Super Eagles defender Benjamin Frederick is set to miss the 2025 African Cup of Nations after sustaining a knee injury recently. The 20-year-old who played or won 20 minutes in both Nigeria CAF World Cup playoff matches against Gabon and DR Congo reportedly picked up an injury while training with Belgian side FCV Denda EH, where he is currently on loan from Brentford. Sports journalist Inioluwa Adekoya reported an article. He said an article, Brentford FC Nigeria defender Benjamin Frederick is set to miss AFCON with a knee injury picked up in training at Belgian club Denda recently. Expected to return in action after the tournament, the rising star stated his country's last 6 games under Eric Scheller. Frederick has always quickly become an integral part of Super Eagles since making his international debut in a 2-2 friendly against Jamaica in May 31st, 2025, which Nigeria won 5-4 on penalties to lift the Unity Cup. Since then, he has started 6 consecutive matches under coach Eric Scheller, featuring both at centre-back and right-back. The injury is a significant setback for Nigeria ahead of the tournament, with Frederick expected to be part of the preliminary squad list to be announced in the coming days. He also made stand the last 3 Belgian Pro League fixtures against Roller Antwerp, Westerlo and Standard League. The absence of Frederick is a blow for the club, who sit bottom of the league with 8 points from 15 games. Yes, talking UCL and the clash between Chelsea and Barcelona. Estevao scored a breathtaking solo Champions League goal to win the battle of the teenage prodigies against Lamine Yamal yesterday as Chelsea humbled 10-man Barcelona squad to a 3-0. The 18-year-old were the focus of attention in the build-up to the game at Stamford Bridge, with Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca urging his players to ignore the comparison. And also Estavios' moment of magic came 10 minutes after halftime, where he received the ball on the right before beating 2 defenders and lashing into the roof of Joan Garcia's net. It was the 10th goal of the season for club and country for the winger in the first season at Chelsea. Estevao goal gave Barcelona, already trading 1-0 down to 10 men, a mountain to climb, and substitute Liam Delap put the game to bed in the 73rd minute, side-footed home from the close range. The lap goal was initially ruled out for offside but VAR overruled the on-field officials. The loop side scoreline was just reward for two-time European champions Chelsea, who were superior from the first whistle against the palliant Barcelona team. The game has started at a frantic pace. Enzo Fernandez abandoned the ball into the net in the 4th minute, only for a goal to be ruled out due to handball by Wesley Fofana. 2 minutes later, Ferran Torres seemed certain to score at the other side and went clean through with only Robert Sanchez to beat, but he skewed wide. Still talking the clash between Chelsea and Barcelona, of course. The game then drifted before Chelsea again upped the tempo. Fernandez again had the ball in the net, but this time it was disallowed for an offside. And moments later, Pedro Neto blazed over the bar, but the home side pressure finally paid off in the 27th minute following a short corner routine. And the ball was eventually whipped into the box, and Barcelona tied themselves in naught. Poking the ball home for our own goal. The game took a decisive turn before halftime when Barcelona captain Ronaldo Araujo received a second yellow card for poor challenge on Marc Cucurella. Chelsea maintained their intensity in the second half and were richly rewarded with the goals from Estevao and Delap. What 5 minutes Champions League winner Barcelona offered little. The Stamford Bridge fans taunted the ineffective Yamal, and Estevao scored and Jed when he was substituted late in the game. Maresca's men, back in the Champions League after 2 years away, have now won 3 of their first 5 games to give themselves a fighting chance of finishing in the top 8. That would mean automatic qualification for the last 16. The club are also picking up momentum in the Premier League, sitting second on the table ahead of Sunday's home match against leaders Arsenal. Yes, still talking UCL and talking the clash between Bayer Leverkusen and Man City. Pep Guardiola's selection gamble backfired as the understrength Manchester City suffered a shock 2-0 defeat against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League yesterday. Guardiola surprisingly rested the majority of his stars at the Etihad Stadium with Erling Haaland, Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva, Gianluigi Donnarumma all left of the state starting lineup. Leverkusen took advantage of the dismal display from Guardiola understudy as Alexa Grimaldo put the Germans ahead in the first half before Patrick Schick netted after the break to spark grumbles of discontent from City fans at the final whistle. For the first time in 24 games back in 2018, City were beaten at home in the Champions League prior to the knockout stage. It was a second consecutive loss for City after Saturday's 2-1 defeat at Newcastle in the Premier League. City have already lost 4 times in the Premier League this term and leave them 7 points behind leaders Arsenal, while their first Champions League defeat in 5 matches should be fatal to their bid to reach the last 16. Guardiola will have absorbed the lesson that his reserves aren't quite as formidable as he would hope. Guardiola's 100th Champions League match at City's boss was a damp squib in a stark contrast to so many of the previous 99, which includes 62 wins and the club's maiden European crown in 2023. Guardiola said he felt embarrassed and ashamed after his on-pitch confrontation with the cameraman in the aftermath of the controversial defeat to Newcastle. His player should he be equally chastened after the lackluster surrender. Guardiola had named the same team from previous 3 games, but that unusually consistent selection policy went out the window with 10 changes. Guardiola's move may have been influenced by the knowledge City faced 2 games a week for most December, an hectic run, and include a trip to Real Madrid in the next Champions League features. Nathan Ake almost put City ahead after just 5 minutes when defender took Oscar Bob pass from the half-clear corner and smashed the close range effort that that forced a superb tip over from Mark Flecken. Yes, you're still on to Sports Diaries, coming to you from our Power 102.7 FM. Moving on to the transfer scene, where we've got some trending rumors, some trending transfer rumors, beginning from Paris Saint-Germain, as they are vying with Real Madrid and host of other big clubs to sign Bayern Munich centre-back Dayot Upamecano as a free agent in the summer. According to recent reports, the Bavarians are working intensely to renew the 27-year-old's contract with a deal until 2030 or 2031 being discussed. Upamecano has also shown positive signs towards the renewal, but there is no signature on the contract, which means interest from giants across Europe will continue. This all comes after a report in the build at the weekend linked Chelsea, Real Madrid, Liverpool and International with the French international. Moving on, still talking transfer, we have got this from Chelsea and Manchester United. They are among the club monitoring LP Leipzig midfielder Azan Udraogo with interest from top clubs to become more concrete. The 19-year-old, who has registered 3 goals and 3 assists for his club so far this season, made waves last week when he scored less than 2 minutes into senior international debut for Germany. Udraogo doesn't after a release clause, so the summer departure is only realistic if the Rotenbolen receive a top offer. The reporter add that despite the link with Premier League giant, Udraogo focuses is set on qualifying for the next UEFA Champions League with Leipzig and going FIFA World Cup. Still talking transfer, where we've got this coming from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder Joe Gomez has said had his head turned by interest from Manchester United, although they had that they are still about to complete a January transfer. Reports saying there's a belief that it will take up to 50 million euros to sign the 24-year-old, despite Wolves stating that they will willing to let him leave. The Red Devils have also linked with Nottingham Forest, Elliot Anderson, Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton, Brentford, Yamaluke, and Brighton over Albion, Carlos Baleba. Finally, on the transfer scene, let's take this from Juventus. Juventus and Premier League clubs are interested in signing Mike Magnan as a free agent when his AC Milan contract expires in summer. Recent reports say that although they add that Rossoneri are also trying to extend the goalkeeper's deal, Masolini Allegri had already persuaded clubs and players to continue together last summer, and the Serie club is now offering the 30-year-old an extension for 2 or 3 seasons at 5 million euros per season. Let's quickly take this transfer rumor coming from AC Milan, as they are plotting a transfer for Crystal Palace striker John-Philippe Mateta. According to recent reports who add that the 28-year-old is keen to make a move, there is currently plenty of interest in the French international as he is entering the final 18 months of his contract, and negotiation regarding wages have stalled while there is interest from the Premier League. Mateta's heart is set on a move to Syria. Yes, sir. Moving on to fixtures that will be happening today. Talking UEFA Champions League, where FC Copenhagen and Karate Marti will go side by side. And this match will kick off by 6:45 p.m. Arsenal versus Bayern Munich will kick off by 9 p.m. today. Atletico Madrid and Internazionale will kick off by 9 p.m. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Atlanta will kick off by 9 p.m. today. Liverpool versus PFC Eindhoven will kick off by 9 p.m. Olympiacos versus Real Madrid will kick off by 9 p.m. today. Paris Saint-Germain versus Tottenham Hotspur will kick off by 9 p.m. today. Sporting City versus Club Brugge will kick off by the same time 9 p.m. today. Now talking English Champions League, where Blackburn Rovers versus Queen Park Rangers will kick off by 8:45. Millwall versus Sheffield Wednesday will kick off by 8:45. Wrexham versus Bristol City by 8:45. West Bromwich Albion versus Birmingham City by 9 p.m. today. Yes, and finally, Spanish La Liga. Talking Spanish La Liga 2, where Ceuta versus Almeria. Beg your pardon. Moving on to the South African Premiership, where Orbit College versus Stellenbosch will kick off by 6:30 p.m. And finally, Magesi FC versus Kaizer Chiefs. That match has been postponed till further notice. And with that, we've come to a wrap on today's edition of Sports Diaries. Many thanks to those who are here with me in the studios. Many thanks to those who tune in to listen